Well, hello everyone. This is Chrystal Lynn, Cowgirl Astrologer, coming to you from Southern California. And I just want to keep up with what's happening right now in the sky. There's a lot of movements, kind of like a chess game, making that next move and at a very pivotal point. So that's what's happening. Um, we're at the tail end of the moon in Pisces at 29 degrees. This is the last time, um, at least for another 50 years, that we will see Chiron and the moon in a conjunction in Pisces. So we're at the end of this storyline that's been happening the last 7 years. Chiron can be kind of inconsistent in staying in different planets. There's not an exact time frame, but 7 years would be long. That goes in and out 3 to 4 years. And again, right now, it stayed in Chiron for the last 7 years. The interesting thing to me, and I'm doing some research on it right now, and I'll have something up on my website with all the dates and everything. I'm kind of working on it. But, I've been just looking at how interesting it is that, back in 2003 when Uranus went into Pisces, okay, to 2010, and that's when Chiron moved into Pisces at the tail end of Uranus being in Pisces. So it's kind of like Uranus comes in, shakes up our lives, has us look at what we really, really want, being a rebel in our lives, sometimes going to extremes. There's a lot of definitions for a Uranus transit and how it affects us. But, at the end of that, Chiron moved into Pisces. So it's kind of like, yes, I'm going to shake your world up, but then I'm going to give you a chance to really heal and go through, that process. And then Uranus moved into Aries, okay, the last 7 years. And as it is moving out of Aries as of May 18th, 2018, Chiron is now moving into Aries again at the tail end. So, the universe is just so intricate. And those are the kind of patterns I like to look at and study. And, so I've been doing some of that. Take some time to really formulate. And I'm sure I'm not the first one asking these questions, but that's what's fun about astrology, is it is about asking questions, okay? So whatever questions you have, that's how you start. That's how you start. And I've always found there's an answer. So anyway, the other thing that's happening is, like I said, Uranus is moving out of Aries, and it's getting into a tight conjunction with the sun in Aries. So again, we will not see this shift for another 84 years. Okay, so these are powerful. Don't underestimate the times that are changing right now for all of us. And we're ready. Aren't we ready? Pisces is about digging deep into who we are, what's deep within our soul, what we believe, how we, you know, how we look at the deepest part of us. So that's been going on, deep stuff the last 7 years. And as we move into Chiron in Aries, okay, this is about healing those shattered identities. Healing, we found out who we are or who we aren't. Maybe we've been leveled. Maybe we're just sitting here going, what's next? But I really believe that we're moving into a powerful time. We will be looking at who we are, claiming that authenticity. Whenever you have a shift, you do want to be aware during those times. That's when, it's when earthquakes happen and storms happen and different things like that. We can time those to, a lot of times Uranus shifts like that as it goes into one sign or the other. So these are all things to just, understand about astrology and how is it affecting you. And I've talked about it, I'm kind of reiterating, but it's still happening. So it's kind of like updating and getting an idea of, where you guys are at with it. But we have all this energy in Capricorn. We have all these planets in Capricorn right now. And we've talked about it, but Saturn, Mars, and Pluto, okay, those are like the biggest heavy hitters that you could put together. I mean, Saturn is that old man that's slapping our hand, teaching us lesson. Maybe he's got his cane, get, you know. And but he knows what he's talking about. You know, Pluto is bringing up, you know, deep issues of our conditioning, how we've been conditioned, the things we've been stuck in, the boxes we've been stuck in, the belief systems we've been stuck in. So again, we've talked about these things, but how do we put this together? How do we really put all of this together? And the North Node is still in Leo. Okay, that needs to be discussed a lot more. So the North Node in Leo is taking us all on this trip for, you know, it's been going on for about 9 months. It'll continue another 9. It's about an 18-month transit. The North Node is like just fueling energy into the collective that's saying, you know, stand up and be who you are. Stand on your mountain, you know, stand on your pedestal, you know, whatever that is. And that's something different for everybody, but it's having us claim that individuality and be proud of ourselves and stop letting all the old voices of people putting you down or all those comments that, you know, often come from family and siblings and mothers and fathers. And, you know, as we grew up, there's a lot of voices that, you know, we have to sometimes look at and say, does that really serve me now? And so that kind of is deep work when you have a lot of past stuff coming up, remembering things. You might be going down the road and suddenly remember something when you were 11 and you go, oh my gosh, you know, see it for the first time. I was a little brat at that age, you know, or something like that. But if you're able to see it, that's part of the healing process. But you're going to have a lot of past memories, you know, coming up. It should be because we're at the 29th degree. We should all be close to being done with that work, okay? For some of us, maybe we're just now becoming aware of what just happened. You know, whatever process you're in, you're right on time. But, you know, when we're looking at, you know, these deep healing, you know, healing opportunities behind the scenes, catching the wave, understanding what you're going through, it doesn't always make it easier, but at least you know that I'm going through something very specific that's going to be important for my future. Because astrology is all about moving forward. Time's ticking. I mean, 1 second ago is gone. And all the contributions of people talking about astrology on YouTube and posting videos to teach us all, and what I love to do as well, you know, that's part of investing in our future. Okay, your comments are part of investing in our future. And, you know, in the younger generations being able to look at these videos someday and go, that's what was going on? Chiron and Aries, look, for those of you born in 1968, let's see, 69, 70, 71. Again, I'll get exact dates, but, you know, we're up. I'm born in 68. This is actually my Chiron return. So, and I just went through the 7 years in Pisces and the 7 years before that in Uranus and Pisces on my ascendant and moon in my 12th house. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like thinking I should be done. And now I'm entering into this next phase. But I feel like I've done the work. I had to go down deep. A lot of us have had to. There's been a lot of changes in our social systems and how we connect with people. A lot of people feel alone. A lot of people feel, you know, like that's, you know, do I even matter? Yes. Every one of us matter. Every one of us has a very specific calling. You know, and a calling is just something that makes your heart pound, makes in a good way, when you get excited about something that, you know, would make you really happy. And then maybe those voices come in and they say, you could never do that, or you need to stick with a 9 to 5 job. And again, I'm not telling everyone to go run and quit their job, but what I'm saying is this is the time to build a new foundation that can really last the next 29 years. I mean, it may seem a long time away, but do we want to leave a legacy behind for our children and our grandchildren? And those of you who are young, you're jumping on this train with the support of Neptune and Pisces behind you, behind all of us, but especially the youth. The creativity is amazing. The opportunities for creativity. So all of this stuff's stirring around again. It's kind of like, these seeds have been planted really for the last 7 years. Haven't you felt them? These ideas, you've been working on them, working on how to live true to your heart. And the universe has been calling us to yearn for that, kind of like a carrot in front of us. This is what you want. And we've just tasted it, a little bite of it, and there it goes again, we're always chasing it. Now is the time we don't have to chase anymore. Now is the time, I believe, we learned some lessons we needed to learn before we could go and really handle what the future can hold for us. That maturity, So, I don't know. All that being said, just some things to think about. I want to talk more about Jupiter and Scorpio too. So, next video I'll do a talk about Jupiter and Scorpio because that's so important too. I mean, here you've had, the last year of Chiron in Pisces, with Jupiter in Scorpio, this double water sign relationship, okay? Intense. That's what I'm saying. None of us have really gotten out, especially this last year, of having to look at past trauma and whatever that is and go through some trauma. We've all been through some trauma, okay? So, but again, the regeneration process is so important, and it's what we look forward to when we're making these changes. Sometimes you have to step back, and I know I do, and just kind of pretend my life's a movie for a minute, and I'm not so caught up in it, just to give myself a break. But don't outrun the timing, the cycles. Don't try to make them go faster than they're supposed to. I'm famous for that. I am a miserable waiting person when things aren't going with some juju. It's a lot of the fire in my chart. And some of you may feel that way too. When things aren't moving forward, you feel like it's never going to happen. It's easy to fall into that abyss, okay? But then afterwards, when things start moving forward, I always feel like so stupid that I wasted all that time, sitting and complaining and doubting. And so I always have to, be grateful as well. So anyway, you guys, good things are coming. We are going through these transitions. Remember, your health right now is very important when these kind of planets shift. Dehydration. You might feel really sluggish. You might be having some knee issues, water retention, and you might even be feeling like you want to eat all the time. With Uranus and Taurus coming in, fine dining will be on the rise again, and we will have our appetites, kind of charged. So I'm already experiencing that, and I thought it was interesting. But throat, nose, ears, teeth, all of those issues are on the table right now for our health. So anyway, you guys, I could go on and on. I'll be back for some more. And as always, you can find me at cowgirlastrologer.com. I offer a progressive chart. I offer synastry, composite, personal, career, relationship. I'm really simple, so go to cowgirlastrologer.com and I can make you an audio, send it to you privately or one-on-one, like on a Google Hangout, and I record that as well. So love to meet with you guys and hope to hear from you. Have a great day.